So I have some major updates about the story of the 11-year-old girl out of Oklahoma who had to give birth at home, and it turned out that it was her stepdad's baby. I spoke to somebody who was close to the source, and here is what I learned. Sherry, the girl's mom, is the one who delivered the baby. But Sherry, too, is pregnant, 35 weeks along, with her seventh child. And obviously her husband is the father of that baby, who is also the father of the 11-year-old's baby. So you have that whole thing. Then a lot of you guys have been wondering, how did they get caught? Because remember, they pulled her out of school for a year. She hadn't been to any doctors. Well, apparently after the baby was born, they had to call 911 because I'm sure we can guess why an 11-year-old isn't big enough to be giving birth. She's a small child. So they came. They're the ones that ultimately cut the cord, took her back to the hospital. And while she was there, it sounds like they didn't believe the story about some 12-year-old either. So they did a DNA test on her. And it turns out that that's how they found out the stepdad was the dad of this baby. Now, I also know that a lot of you guys have been asking about the kids. How are they doing? Well, here's what I can tell you, and this is all I know. It's not very much, because when we're talking about minors, that stuff doesn't really get put out there. They have been removed from the home. We know that that's been publicly reported. They aren't together because, unfortunately, there's so many of them. That's not necessarily a bad thing. They are safe. It's not necessarily a bad thing because that means they probably have the easier ability to get some one-on-one trauma counseling. There are also two younger girls in the home, younger than the 11-year-old. And so we're all just hoping and basically praying that they weren't victims of this same abuse like their sister was. That being said, once we have more information, I'll be back to give you guys another update. But this was pretty big, pretty mind-blowing, so I wanted to come on and give you guys this update. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and of course hit that follow button so you don't miss any of these updates.